Computer. Hi, welcome everyone to Monday Motivation. We are looking at, today we saw a little video from Jen Sincero. She's the author of You Are a Badass. That's her first book. And then the second book was You Are a Badass at Making Money. So those are two books I recommend that you guys put into your library and go back and read them every once in a while just to refresh your memory on how to change your mindset. So with that in mind, when I was putting this little motivational thing together, I thought, after hearing her, she had a wonderful affirmation, that money flows freely and clearly to her, or something like that. So I was thinking for us, we could change it to, instead of the word money, we could say that clients flow easily and smoothly to us, kind of like where our mindset right now is ease and flow. That's been our focus these last few weeks, maybe even months. And so why not ease and flow those clients and customers into our lives by doing that affirmation to ourselves. And then another thing about it, affirmations for me, is it is a key to changing our mindset. For example, like she was saying, that was a saying we grew up with all the time was, oh, we don't have any money. We don't have any money. Or my mom, hey, mom, I want this. And, oh, well, we don't have the money. Instead of growing up with that subconsciously, I did grow up with that subconsciously. I changed that mindset now. And so one of my affirmations I use is, I have a wonderful business in a wonderful way. I provide a wonderful service for a wonderful pay. So the days that I feel like I haven't maybe met the goals of the people that I wanted to call, or maybe I haven't met the goals of, getting those clients that I need to get pre-approved, or whatever the case may be, I remind myself that I have a wonderful business in a wonderful way, and I provide a wonderful service for a wonderful pay. And every time I say that, at first it felt kind of weird, but now I say it and I have joy in my heart, and I know that I can, I can accomplish anything. And so that's what it is one of the trainings that Leonila and myself went to, the trainer was telling us that we have to change our mindset in the fact that this is not a job. Real estate is not a job. Real estate is, we have to tell ourselves that we run a real estate business. We don't have a job. We don't run a real estate job. We run a real estate business. And so in order to have that business, we have to treat ourselves just like, Walmart and Coca-Cola and all them guys out there, and put our brand out there. And so last week we talked about putting our online presence out there, letting people know that, what, we're not a secret agent, trying to hide, but we're actually a business, and we're a small business, but yet we're a business that wants to help people in their needs for real estate. So last week was all about online stuff, and I'm going to take little nuggets from that, but at the same time, I want us to grow and look at other options out there, as far as maybe we don't have the funds to do certain things, so let's try some different ideas. So here we go, part 2. So ready, set, grow. The first one is farming. Now, farming could mean that you would mail out some information to your local neighborhood, maybe pick an area you like. That's kind of what we've been doing these last few weeks, is finding a neighborhood that we like and start just sending that information to them. Another thing, let me see. The reason with farming, I'm going to show you a little video on farming. So if I can find that up, I should have pulled it up. Oh, here it is. It was from another agent that, well, actually it was from our meeting that we had last Tuesday. And so let me find that real quick. Where'd it go? It was from our Texas meeting. Shoot, I don't think I saved it. I'll look for it and then come back and show you guys. But basically what it was actually off of TikTok. And the guy was saying that, let's see if this is Texas. So the guy was saying on TikTok that they, first they went around to this neighborhood and they knocked on all the doors and they asked everybody, just out of curiosity, we're taking a survey, who's the local realtor expert. So by the time they were done, there was like maybe 8 or 9 different names, but not any that were consistent. So then they did this thing where they ran an 8x8, meaning 8 weeks. They sent out 8 different postcards and they made up a fake picture, a fake name, a fake phone number and information for a fake realtor. And they did it 8x8. They mailed it out 8 weeks in a row. And so they came back to that neighborhood, and when they asked them, a majority of the neighborhood said that fake agent. And the only reason was because that agent was branding herself, putting herself out there. Fake agent was putting themselves out there. And that's how that neighborhood knew that particular agent was the expert. So farming is very important. You don't have to do an 8x8, but you can do at least once a month, get out some, like maybe a postcard or a little friendly note. I'm starting with, sending out football magnets for the football season. So just some ideas like that. So farming is very important. The next is open houses. That's cheap. All you got to do is buy maybe a couple of little boxes of snacks and a bottle of water, and then put your open house signs in front of a listing. And EXP, we have tons of listings. We have tons of agents that love for you to bring them the buyer. And so, all you have to do is reach out and say, hey, I'd like to do your open house. And they will more than happy work with their sellers and say, yes, we'd love for you to sell our home. The other one is the sphere of influence. You hear that one a lot. And the only reason I kind of throw it in there is because it's still tried and true. You still want to reach out to those maybe people that you work with in the past. I know I was a teacher, so my bad, I'm slipping. I could be out, reaching out to those teachers that I work with, and then, work that sphere as well. Maybe you worked at, a Chick-fil-A, or you worked at, somewhere retail. Reach out to some of those people and just say, hey, look, I'm doing this now. I used to work at Walmart, and so every time I go into Walmart, I'll see some of my friends, and I'll just remind them, hey, I'm still doing real estate now, and they surprisingly they hold on to my cards, which is kind of cool. So, which brings me to small business. This is a really good point here under small business. Is if you go into the small business and you take them a little stack of your cards and just let them know that you work by referral, and that you can take a stack of their cards and trade, and just write your name on the back of their cards and say, look, I'm going to send you referrals, and this is where I'm going to put my name here so that they're coming from me. And so then they appreciate that. And there's actually some small businesses, like, let's say Slurpee, what is that one we bought with the yogurt drinks, not yogurt, but protein drinks.
Oh, like Smoothie King?
Yeah, so like a Smoothie King or someone like that, where you could tell them, okay, for your the first of the month, here's my credit card. The first 10 smoothies that come in, let them know it's from me, and give them my business card. And so that's something new, and that's maybe $10, $15 for the first 10 people, maybe $1 a smoothie, or maybe not, but it gives you an idea of the referrals are coming, because this person said, oh, well, you get a free one today. And they'll be like, what? Yeah, I was paid for by this realtor. And, she would appreciate it if you have any referrals to send her. And there you go. And so that's one thing that we could do, or do a business where they bake cakes, or you'll buy the first two, buy them some cupcakes, because some of those places sell cupcakes.
So would you recommend specific small businesses, like something maybe that's related to homes, or would you just recommend any business?
Any business, yeah, because let's say even a local donut shop, it doesn't have to be those big name brands like Shipley's or not them. You want to go to those, little, mom and pops, and there's actually one by my house. I might end up doing it myself, because they need the business. Everybody's going to Shipley's, everybody's going to, Dunkin' Donuts, but who's going to mom and pop donuts, And so this way, when they go, the first, you tell them every first Saturday, the first 10 people you get, go ahead and buy their stuff on me. And so that, they'll be like, what? Okay, you're giving back to your community, but at the same time, you ask them to, pass out your card, with your info and stuff.
So because a lot of small companies will place your business cards out on their front line so people can see them and just take them. Because a few coffee shops in Santa Fe, they will have that. They'll have a whole wall of business cards that you can just take one if you need, that specific service. And I thought that was really cool that they did that.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, you can just go leave your card. You don't have to pay for anything. I mean,
I have a question, Christina.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah. I have, I'm wondering, how can we, like, for example, I was thinking when the first thing that came to my mind, because I'm a big believer in the Herbalife product industries, because my family owns businesses in that. So, but here we don't own any businesses here, but there's a lot of friends that I do support, even if they're not my family's business, right? And there's one in particular in my neighborhood that I always support, because they have like the B12 vitamins, like shakes and whatnot, right? So I was wondering, I could do that with her, but how do we actually get a feedback from that one client? Because the whole point we were talking about the other day is like, okay, we need to get something back from, like, remember I did those the Germex bottles for the school for the little daycare thing,
right?
But I don't have the teachers, not the teachers, the parents' information. And so to me, it's great. I'm planting a seed on there, but I'm really not planting a seed every month because, some of them didn't even take them, So I'm wondering, how do we get, where would it be more beneficial for us to where maybe if they send us a text message saying, I don't know, tell them to tell the owner, hey, send a text message and maybe she'll buy you a new one or something, another drink or something, I don't know, or another donut or whatever. If you send her, she'll get another free one or something. If you send a text, that way we keep their information. I don't know, we just have to be creative about it because it's great, but we might not even get a thank you, right? I'm not sure. I'm just trying to think, how do we get more productive with it to where we get feedback? Does that make sense what I'm saying? And
definitely makes sense. And it came to mind when you said that, because that could be something we tell the small businesses, have them text a thank you, and their name and thank you for the smoothie, and that way we know where it came from, and then we can reply, you're very welcome, and then this is my number, please save it. If you have any questions in the future about real estate, I'm here to help. So we can instruct them to, or we can even create, how we create the these pop buys with this size.
Yes.
Maybe have our card with it, and then something with a message on the front saying, thank you for your purchase at Smoothie King, or thank you for something,
visiting your local.
Oh yeah, there you go. Visiting your local Smoothie King, and I appreciate, you know, any referrals. Please text me, you know, kind of give them the little bit of instruction on there. Please text me when you received your free smoothie, with a quick thank you, and I will get back with you and maybe get your next one, you know, so that way they think, oh, well, you know, I want to get another free smoothie because people love
Right.
free stuff,
Mhm.
you know. So with the daycare, you could send a, you know, maybe try one more little, you know, trinket, and then create one of these to say, you know, please text me when you receive this gift, for another for an entry into a free drawing of something.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yes, because people love free stuff, and this way the drawing could be a, you know, $20 gift card to,
Right.
you know, movies, you know, or whatever the case may be. $20 a pizza. You know, people, especially parents with small children, hey, a pizza can help. You know, it goes a long way. You know, buying them a pizza. So, so that would be your trick to track, you know, where that particular referral came from. Because that's what your key is. Your key question is tracking. How are we going to track our,
Track.
what's going on and where it's coming from? Because that makes a lot of sense. And the same thing with the farming. You know, we're sending out this information, but like the letter you sent, you put a question in there, right?
Yeah.
So what was the question?
So you originally had on there to text me, this was to your friends and family, text me your favorite football team so I can add it to your list.
Mm-hmm.
But then this past time, I said, text me your favorite football team so we can know who you're rooting for.
Who they're rooting for. And this is a letter with the magnet, with the football, for Texas and Cowboys, mainly because we're a Texas state. So I just started there, you know, because you're going to ask, if you start thinking about, oh, but what about football for the high school? What about football for, you know, college? You're going to really just, you know, overwhelm yourself. Just pick a team, even pick one team. And this way, you might get a, you know, a response that they say something like, well, we don't really like the Texans, but we appreciate your calendar. And then from there, you'll start getting those responses. Well, we really like, you know, Pittsburgh, or we really like so and so, you know. So that's my way of tracking that they got it and where they're coming from, you know, like where that referral is coming from. So, and then, you know, different things like that as far as, so that would be farming, that would be even your sphere, you know, when you start giving them little things, kind of throw in a question, because if you don't, then you're not going to get that reply back. And so in this case, let's throw in a question, you know, this and this and this.
To just
And
need
then
to be more
call me.
interactive.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all. We can send it out, but let's get it to where they come back to us, you know, and talk to us. Another way is open, like I said, where are we at? Oh, networking. Yeah, we did open houses. Networking is a really good way of also, like, you know, title companies are always having these big network. They have trainings. Lenders sometimes have trainings. So they invite all these agents. And so then you can meet an agent from the Woodlands. You know, if you get a referral all the way out to the Woodlands, you don't want to spend an hour and a half out driving. Then you're another half an hour showing and then coming back, you know, that's like your whole day.
Mhm.
So if you're networking, you can find agents that are vice versa. You're looking for somebody in the Woodlands and they're looking for somebody down south over here near, you know, south of Houston. So networking is important too, because then you get referrals or you give referrals, and that's another form of income that as an agent we can definitely earn. And then client parties, I recommend twice a year, but at the beginning. And the client parties, for me, I started out twice a year. I always have the one in November, and then I have one in June, anywhere between June to August. So I've had those two, but I'll throw in, now that I've been doing this enough, I'll throw in an extra one here and there, like a girls' night out or couples' night out, you know, like a date night, things like that, to where I'm always appreciating my clients. Now you're thinking to yourself, oh, that costs money, right? Well, guess what? If you put a little foot forward and you talk to a few people, maybe a lender, I have had some title companies help in the past, or even insurance, people, you know, that sell home insurance, anybody in our industry that would like to partner. I've even actually had an inspector, actually a couple of inspectors sponsor here and there. So the key thing is that you put their name out there as well as yours. And so that helps with their publicity and branding. And then they help you with, you know, any contribution that they can afford. And so it's been amazing. Some of them, because like places like Top Golf, you know, they get a little pricey. So I would definitely recommend getting some sponsors there. I've had up to 4 sponsors at one event. You know, one was a lender, one was myself as a realtor, the other was the inspector, and then the last one was title. And so the key thing for them is that you bring them business as well as you know, they bring you business. So yeah, so that's how the client parties work. I'm getting ready to do my next one in November, and this one is going to be over Thanksgiving, like before Thanksgiving, to allow them to get them a pie. So I'm giving them a pie so they can have, I think I hear my phone ringing. They can have a pie for their Thanksgiving dinner. But then I also offer them pictures with Santa, so they'll be able to take some really cool pictures with Santa, things like that. So any questions on client parties? No, those are pretty easy. Well, not easy, but you know, they take a little time to put together. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into farming a little bit as far as how to do it on Remind, and I'm not gonna go into much detail because, you know, I'm only supposed to do this 30 minutes because I don't want to take up too much of your time. The other thing is Breakthrough Broker offers this list of other prospecting activities. And so I have the link to that here. So what I'm going to do is put that link into the our, you know, workplace group, and then you can click on it and get on it. There's so many different ways that you can actually get yourself out there. Because remember that real estate is it's a what's it called? It's not a spectator sport. You can't just sit back and wait for somebody to call you to sell their home. It's more of a get out into the game type, you know. So definitely these are some different ways you can add to going in front of other people, meeting people, and things like that. And so, well, I'm looking at the time. It's actually 10:30. But real quick on the Remind, if you click on this link, I'm going to go to this link, and I'm going to stop sharing here and share the Remind, what it looks like. It's actually not really a free service, but it is a service that is provided for us through HAR. Okay, put me back where I was, yes. So if you come over here to the side, you will see tools. And then these are going to be under marketing tools. Let's see, marketing. No, I think I did that wrong.
I believe you can also just search it, search Remind in that search bar.
Oh, okay.
But there it is right
There's
there. The third party tool.
Oh, there's a search bar. Yeah, so Remind is on the third party tools. Again, Maddie was mentioning you can always type for a shortcut here. So when you click on it, no, you can do a search in here, and you can pick your neighborhood. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in my neighborhood, which I probably already have that saved, right? Driftwood. And then you can do a search based on narrowing things down. Yes, this is the neighborhood I like. I want to go ahead and, well, start a search. There we go. And then you can search by home equity, ownership time, property value, things like that. And so since I did that, I should have it saved in my cart, right?
Mhm.
So I go to my cart and I did this whole narrowing down, or Maddie did this for me. And we did it because we're gonna mail out all our stuff to, the football magnets that I talked about earlier. And so here's a list of all the people in my neighborhood that I'm going to send the football magnets to. And then the letter states, hey, if you don't like one of these two teams, please let me know. And so my goal is to get at least out of these, what is it, like 90 people, at least 4 or 5 to tell me, yes, my favorite team is not anybody in Texas, but it's so-and-so. And then I can build that rapport with them and let them know, okay, well, that's really great. I'm glad. I'm going to add that to my list to next year, or next time I send something out, it'll be for your team. So, and oh, by the way, if if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, I really appreciate the referral. So you always throw that in there, let them know. I really would appreciate that referral. So, so that's kind of what Remind does for you. And if you have any questions and this is something that you're interested in, please let me know. We can definitely get someone on a Zoom maybe to help get us some training. So, and that's the end of today's training for day 2 of our lead generation. First time was online, and that's a lot of free resources last week. And then this week was some of the things that we might put a little bit of money behind. And so if you have any questions, email me at tina@thetutgroup.com, or you can reach me at 832-514 sold is 7653. 7653. All right. Well, you guys have a great week. And bye. Bye, Sophia.